Hello folks, this is Margie Roy from 3dcuts.com, and today I'm going to do the tutorial for the Home is Where the Heart Is shadow box. This is a fairly simple, charming shadow box for the Valentine season. It includes one of my Ledge Village houses that has been gussied up a little bit. I have added door frames and window frames and flowers and a red roof, but I've also redone the house so it's only about 3/8 of an inch thick, and it will fit into an 8x8 shadow box. This is an 8x8 shadow box that I have purchased from Michael's. They come in groups of 3s, and if you get them at the buy one get one free sale or the buy one get two free sale, they're a great bargain. One of the special things about this shadow box is, if you choose, it can be illuminated. The house has tiny LED lights in it that are battery operated, and if you want to add those to your shadow box, it is a charming addition. Before you get started, be sure to check out the tutorial, the written tutorial, on my website at the link you'll see on the screen. I include all kinds of important information about the frames, the papers that I use, and the sizes. You should check that out to make sure that your things have imported with the correct sizing before you cut. So let's get started. I have already cut out all of my pieces on my silhouette. I'm going to start by putting the tree together because that needs to dry, and I'll do the other things while it is drying. I am using art glitter glue. It's my favorite glue for cardstock, and I have transferred it to this small container so that I have great control as I put it onto the cardstock. There are two trees. One of them has a score line up the center and is slightly smaller. That's the one that goes onto the front. It will be glued right into the center of the other one to give some dimensionality. Take the art glitter glue and run a tiny bead down the seam here on the back side, like so. Place this right in the center, making sure the bottoms line up. And then I'm going to put it here, so that holds it up. Get another votive there, and I'll push that off to the side and just let that dry while I do the other things. Art glitter glue dries quite quickly, so that won't take long. Okay, while our tree is drying, we will start to put the house together. On the house, it is easiest if you add all of the decoration before you make it three-dimensional. So I will take the various trims and put them in place. This is the door trim. There's trim for each window. And trim for the heart window as well. The large red heart gets put on the back side of the heart window. And the flower box gets the red hearts added. Tweezers are helpful for this. And then the red flower box on the bottom is adhered as well. It's a little bit bigger than the green one, so you can cover it. The flower box with the hearts will get glued right here. Like so. Okay, now we can start making the house three-dimensional. All of the dotted fold lines fold in the same direction away from you. I start at the peak and glue this tab, bring these together. Art glitter glue takes about 4 seconds to hold, so either using your fingers or tweezers, allow that some time to set before you move down to the next side tab here at the corner. Bring that one up. This one definitely works better with tweezers. Same over here. And then there are 2 on the bottom here. And I forgot to put wax paper onto the windows. Luckily, I can still do that. I have access here. I like to put wax paper on because if I'm going to put lights in, it reduces the glare from the lights, but it also makes a building look less haunted if there is glass in the windows, really wax paper. But I just cut the wax paper to fit. I put glue around the windows and I put it in place. I will do the same at the door also. Now, if you're going to want your door open, be sure to fold it in before you put the back on, because it's hard to do afterwards. Just a little like that. That one didn't stick. This is going to come over and get folded in place here. This piece allows you access and a place to put the lights on. We will fold that toward the back. Now let's open this and let's put glue on all of these tabs. There we go. Now let's put on the roof. The roof folds in half. The little end flaps go down, one at each end. And the front edge folds down as well. Take the house and put glue on both of the roof halves. The back of the roof lines up with the back of the house, and all of the overhang goes in the front. So glue that in place. Pick up and just put a tiny dot of glue underneath where the 2 roofs overhang there, and bring those back together and use the tweezers to hold them in place. Art glitter glue does dry clear. And there are 2 little tabs at these corners as well. Those tabs should go to the inside, and they should be glued as well to finish off the ends of the roof. Okay, there's the front of our little cabin. This piece is just to help us shut the back. It gets glued on here, It aligns with the dotted line down at the bottom. The lights will be attached to it when we put those on, and it overlaps the different edges. So you fit it on like that, and it'll fold there once we have lights in place. Okay, our tree is probably dry now, and our cottage is set, so we can start putting everything together. It's assembly time. Two things you must address before you put it together. The first is the background paper. I've chosen a pretty piece of print paper that I had in my stash, and I'll look forward to seeing what you pull from your stash to go in the back of this. It could be a sky scene, it could be a watercolor, it could be a gradation. A lot of creativity can go into the back piece. The second thing that you need available is a set of lights if you want to light the cottage. This is optional. I like using these little tea lights. I get them from Amazon, and there is a link at the website for where you can get them as well. And I'm going to put the lights in next. On the back side of the cottage, you open this, and the lights get attached to this level here. So when they go up, they're not leaning against the front of the house. I want the lights to exit in this lower corner here so that I can hide them behind the fence to get them in the back. And I think I'm going to need about 5 lights inside the house. I'm going to tape this first one right here. The rest of these will hide around in back. The wire has a mind of its own, and so I'll use quite a bit of it to tape everything in place. I want to stay inside the line of the original back there. I want to make sure that I get one up here in the peak. Although it doesn't shine through the peak light, it does light up the cottage some. Now I can close this up and look from the front and see if I like where the lights are placed. I think I want one down here in the window a little more. Let's see. I'm going to get that one right about. Yeah, that looks friendly. Okay, once I've got those in place to where I like them, I can then tape the back of the house closed. I don't want the tape to show on the front. You can also glue this. I prefer tape in case I have to redo things later. Always changing my mind. Okay, our house is done. Okay, my shadow box, when I take this frame out, is 8 inches by 8 inches on the inside. So this backing and this cardboard are cut to be 8 inches by 8 inches. I'm going to glue this backing onto this piece of cardboard just to give me some stiffness as I build this. My backing was a little bit too small, and so I had to add some pieces to it, which will not be visible when it's done. Okay, glue it on. Now I'm going to position this in front of it because that'll show me where the fence is to get placed. And I'm going to add some glue to the fence. On this side over here, I'm not going to put glue behind it yet. I want to run the wire behind that horizontal piece. So it goes up that. Checking it out. Yep, that looks good. The arrangement in here can be up to you. See how I get that wire to hide behind the fence there. The tree centered. Remember that the frame is here, so you want to be inside the frame. And the little black kitty is going to get put right there on the fence. Again, it's easier to use tweezers on this. On the tree, I am going to take some pop dots and I'm going to be putting them behind these front halves, just so that over time they won't fall back. I'm going to put a double layer there. And I'm not going to stick them down. I'm just going to have them there so that it can't get pushed back with the glass. Okay. Great. Glue on the back of this, and I will glue it right onto the pink background. And it's time to glue the house in place. And over here now, I'm going to glue the rest of the fence down, hopefully capturing some of that wire. Now, home is where the heart is. This gets positioned in the sky. It can be positioned to look like smoke coming out of the chimney if you want. I made this using print and cut. I printed this with black ink in my laser printer on cardstock, and then I used the print and cut feature of the silhouette in order to cut the heart out. You can do it that way if you have those options. If you don't, you can just print this on red paper and carefully cut out a nice heart using scissors. You can also try it in vinyl, although there's some very fine lines here. I'm not sure that that would work. So you'll have to make this in whatever way is easiest using the equipment you have at your house. And I'm just going to glue this onto the pink background. And now I can put the frame on. The collar goes inside the frame. Make sure you have cleaned and dried your glass before you put this together. The cardboard then gets inserted inside here. Now you can take these extra lights, because the string has many more than we need for just the cottage, distribute them around the back here so that they will not interfere. I will tape them in place. Think about where you'd like the control to come out. I like them to come out at the top because then I can rest it on top of the shadow box when it's hanging on the wall and it's not hanging down below it. If you're going to be showing it on a shelf, you might want it coming out down at the bottom. Make sure up is up and put on the backing. And close the frame. Let's take a peek. Oh, isn't that charming? That came out really, really very nicely. Who are you going to give yours to? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Thanks for watching and have a great time crafting.